of the puzzle, and I so confident in what they've trained you in. And not only that, you're moving on to an FTO program. Those of you who don't know what an FTO program is, it'll be a lot funner than the academy. A lot more pressure, a lot more stress, you'll have a good time, okay? That's when the work really begins. And then just so you know, it all gets easy the day they hand you the patrol car keys and you're off on your own. No, see, then you gotta, like Dr. John said, you gotta keep learning every day. This job has challenged me in every minute, and that's what's made it rewarding, is keeping up with those things. But you will learn every day. But that first day the keys are in your hand, for the first 5 minutes, you're like, and then you get a call, and you're like, have fun, you'll have a good time doing it. So with that said about the training and everything else, I want to talk about something that's a little less obvious. I want to talk about humanity. We don't teach it directly, but we do as a society. The people that sit in this chair generally have it. That's what we look for in this job. And it's such an important piece of the puzzle. And when I look back on my career, I think when I was a youngster doing this job, I didn't understand it. Now I understand it, can explain it a little better. And I have so many stories to share with that. So I won't bore you with too many, I'll just go with one. Or maybe two. Anyway, so let me start here. First off, SL employees are going to be tested on this piece from this point forward, so I want you to remember everything. There's nothing else in your head right now, but it's part of the first test day. No pressure, right? Nothing going on, just hanging out here. They got to speak, all kinds of stuff. So somebody mentioned earlier, I believe it was Dr. Chong, saying that it's a tough job these days, difficult, right? Challenging job. It absolutely is. A lot of negativity in the world. You're going to see people at their worst. You're going to get criticized for things that you do wrong, because when you make a mistake in this job, it's pointed out. You're going to get criticized for things you did right. It's the nature of the beast. Keep your head up, keep doing the job. We're all human. We do the right thing for the right reasons. It carries us through. But in all of that, what I found still to this day is that the human moments make the job positive. And it's moments like this, when the family and friends are sitting out there watching you graduate. This will not be the only time you experience a feeling like this in this job. It happens in many other ways, especially with your partners. So I still think it's one of the best jobs in the world because of that. Human to human moments is what you're looking for. So as the assistant sheriff, one of the things I get to do is final hiring interviews. So you go through the entire background process, polygraph, everything. You think you're there, but you got to get through my questions before we hire you. It's the very last thing. Now at the sheriff's office, they call me rainbows and unicorns, so I don't think my hiring process is that tough. But some people get questioned hard, some don't. But I always ask, I really honestly look for that humanity in that person, and I ask 3 questions and I make a couple of points, and I was going to share that with you today. Because honestly, you can't fake it if you don't have it, is my opinion, so I'm not giving away any secrets. First question I always ask is, why here? Meaning, why the sheriff's office and why law enforcement? And I get great answers. Believe it or not, I don't get the canned, I want to help people. It's been years since I've heard that. So I just want to share one of those stories with you. One of those stories is a deputy who says, I was in school, walked to school every day. A deputy from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office would stop by, talk to me, talk to my friends at school, just hang out with us after school some days, see me walk into school some days, give me a ride to school. And I never forgot that. And I thought, I want to be a deputy, I want to be a deputy there. Well, he is a deputy here, and he worked with a deputy that took him to school those days. So, I mean, what more could you ask in the person out there taking care of you in that community, right? I mean, there's just nothing better than that. That's one of my favorite stories, because it's just so sincere and so perfect. Second question I ask is, what do you think about customer service in law enforcement? Most people get it, but it isn't retail. The reality is that most of your customer service for most of you is going to be on graveyard taking bad guys to jail. You know, it takes a while till you get to talk to people. You're usually chasing people down, arresting them, right? You'll get the good people in the middle, but how do you explain customer service taking people to jail? And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for somebody to tell me that it's both two-pronged, right? I got to take people to jail for all the people that are doing the right thing, and when somebody calls in, or somebody asks me directions for the 16th time that day, I got to act like it's the first and share with where they're going. And I want to see their mindset on service and where their head is in taking care of their people. And that's a big deal to me, and I like to hear that come up. And then the end of that, the point that I make is that we as cops are no more important than anybody else in this community. The janitor, the plumber, the guy that's high on dope, it doesn't matter. We're all on the same team trying to make the place safer. So don't forget that, and don't important about yourself, because I think that's a customer service ethic. And I want to share that with them, and I hope they remember that. The third question I ask is ethics. I always want to know an example that demonstrates ethics. I want to know what they're going to do in the middle of the night when they're alone out on that street taking that call. And I always ask for an example, and it stumps everybody. Just like this. You can see this, the face turn red, like, oh no, example. Because they're all looking for the, I jumped in front of the bullet and saved the baby ethics question, right? Well, those don't exist. I've gotten some amazing answers in this, and that's why I can share them today. But I'll just share one with you that just stuck in my head. A woman says to me, I don't have a good example. I really don't. I'm like, give me any example. Well, I guess the best I got is I bought these clothes the other day, and I bought this stuff, and I came home, and I'm going through the bag, and I realized it didn't charge me for that one item. It was like $10. It wasn't a big deal, but I just kind of felt bad. So the next day, I went back and paid the $10. That's the best I can give you. I'm like, that's perfect. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Can I trust that person? Absolutely, right? And those are the kind of things I'm looking for. And what I add to that piece is, we all make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make big mistakes. Stand up, take responsibility, fix it, do the right thing, move on. It's just part of this job, man. It's not, you can't do it right. There's too much to it and too much going on. And the way you handle it is really what it's about. And if I know that you're out there every night trying to do the right thing, there's no mistake that's going to hurt you at the sheriff's office, because we get that. We support that, and that's, I think, a big point for your career moving forward. Don't screw the test up, though. So let me talk real quick about right people. You get some perspective how we look for the right people in this job, right? How hard we work to pick the right people, get them there, and train them. And I'm just going to share one simple story with you that I think illustrates it all. We're going to talk about Deputy Mike and Deputy John, and change their names to protect the innocent. I'm the assistant sheriff. This is a really recent incident. I come to work one day, there's a letter on my desk that says, Assistant Sheriff Keir John. Nobody writes me letters. Why did I get the letter? It goes to the sheriff, I'm like, let's write me a letter. Handwritten, I open it up. It's a 2-page handwritten letter. It's an attaboy. If you don't know what that is, it means deputy did a good job. We call them attaboys or attagirls. These two are boys, so we're going to go attaboy. It's a story. And I sit down and I read this letter, and it's probably the most touching letter I've ever read, and I've read a lot of them in my career. But I sit there, and this is what this guy tells me. It says, my son's always been in trouble for his whole life. Middle of the night on such and such date, your deputy, Mike, comes to my house and knocks on the door, and in the middle of the night, and I say, what did my son do now? And Deputy Mike says, I'm sorry, sir, but your son died. He was killed in a car accident in Santa Rosa. Now, you can't figure it out, so the worst thing you ever do as a deputy is go do a death notification. It's not very fun. Don't like doing them, avoid them like the plague. Hope your partner has to do it, okay? That's the goal. It's just a terrible thing to do. So Deputy Mike goes down. This is the letter. The guy's describing this to me. He sits down with me in my living room, and he just comforts me. He just sits there with me. Offers to call my ex-wife because I couldn't call her and tell her, and he says, I can call her for you because somebody else has already told her. Offers to take him to a church, call a preacher. He goes on in this letter about all the things Mike did for him, just sitting there with him. And the part that I loved about it was, I've been doing this job 27 years, and that happens all the time. That's the kind of stuff nobody ever hears about. Deputy Mike didn't tell anybody, right? That's just what he did that night. He hung out with that guy for a while to make him feel better. And he writes this letter. At the bottom of the letter, it says, there's not a day that's gone by that I haven't thought about what Deputy Mike did for me. And that letter was written 5 months after the day of his son's death. So it just took him that long to get to say that, So rainbows and unicorns, I'm a softie. I'm like, God, that was good, right? So I type an email to Deputy Mike, and it says, hey, this ain't the assistant sheriff telling you thanks for doing a good job. This is Rob telling Mike, man, you're a big human, man. That was really nice. I just want you to know how much you impacted him. Here's a letter. So, Deputy Mike doesn't write back thanks. What he writes back is, you need to thank Deputy John. Deputy John. So he goes, well, because what really happened was, Deputy John had the call. He goes to the death investigation. He goes, finds the mother and notifies her. She's crying and can't call her ex-husband. He calls me and says, would you mind doing this? We don't have to do that. But he calls me and says, would you take care of this? She can. And those two guys in the middle of the night made that happen. And nobody ever knew what they did, right? And that happens all the time. But that's the kind of service we expect from them. That's what we're looking for, and that's what keeps me going to work every day, is those kind of stories from deputies. And those are the positive human-to-human moments that get you through all the bad stuff. So as bad as that event was, think about the difference made that day. So that's my one story. I'm going to hold it to that. I'm going to wrap it up because I hear the after party here is really good. So get to the after party. I got 4 pieces of advice. Are you ready? This is the test. People, not problems. When you go to those calls that you don't want to go to again in the middle of the night, it's not a problem. It's a person with a problem. People with dreams, even dopers, they need help too, so do the right thing. Recognize the moments when human to human you can make a difference for someone, because that, frankly, is healthy for you too. Learn from your mistakes, remember? But here's the most important part. Learn from your partner's mistakes. They hurt way less. Okay? Don't ever make the same mistake your partner makes if they've already been through pain. That is a much smarter way, all right? And then, to finalize it, congratulations. Take the bad guys to jail, keep the good guys safe, okay? Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of you.
All right, our last speaker is the Honorable Class President Neil Goodrich, and before I just leave it at that, I'd like to express some admiration and acknowledgement of him. He epitomizes what so much of we stand for at this academy, is helping people succeed and come to a safe environment, make mistakes, brush off, learn from them, move forward. That's how we learn, risk-taking. He made it 2 classes ago. He was supposed to graduate in August of last year. He made it to the Friday before graduation and failed out on scenarios. He's given me permission to tell this story, by the way. And after talking to many of us who believed in him and saw his potential, and people like me who have worked with people who have gotten up and brushed off and got back in the game, been successful their second attempt, and gone on to be incredible contributors. He's one of them. His second time through, after going 19 weeks, he's made it 20. Behind the scenes, his peers have elected him as class president and been an incredible leader for this class. And I'm very proud of him and what he's accomplished and what he represents here. So with that, President Goodrich.
So Assistant Sheriff here did drop some jokes, so I did write some in mine, so we'll see if they're as funny. So. All right, good morning. My name is Neil Goodrich, and I was selected by my peers to represent our Police Academy class. On behalf of Police Academy Class 192, I would like to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. I would also like to welcome agency representatives who are here today and also active in retired law enforcement. I see a lot of you guys, especially on the walls. I am both happy and honored to be here today. Obviously, this is my second time through, but I am happy to be here with Class 192 and to represent them as the class president. In these last 20 weeks, we've seen almost every other program at this campus graduate. The Fire Academy, the Rangers, and 2 corrections academies. So I know I can speak on behalf of everybody and say that we're happy to be here and finally graduate. So. My goal today is simple. It's just to give you a quick glimpse of what our academy experience is going to be like. And also, I'm glad that the JC made me take a speech class. I knew it would pay off one day.
Good joke.
We'll talk at the end. So on January 9th, 2017, at approximately 6:30 in the morning, most of us arrived at the Police Academy on time. Some of us were excited, anxious, or just plain tired. I know I was. Never go to bed early. We arrived on the first day not knowing what the academy was going to be like. I'm sure most of us were expecting to get yelled at, do a lot of push-ups, or do what Director Brown calls light body maintenance. Upon arriving to the Police Academy grounds early that morning, we were immediately met by our recruit training officers who were there to tell us how our academy experience was going to go and what to expect for the next 20 weeks. And yes, we did do some push-ups. On day 1 of the academy, Director Brown gave us a metaphor about our upcoming training. On day one, we show up to the academy looking to drink from the water hose of knowledge. And as we walk up to this water hose of knowledge, we expect it to be a real basic garden hose. We expect to go up there, drink very slowly and methodically from the water or grasp the knowledge. But instead, we get hooked up to a fire hose, turned on full blast. I'm not sure if I really understand this metaphor too well, so maybe I can talk to some of the Rona Park guys later about it. Hello, Chief Masterson. How are you, sir? From the start, we were always being tested on class material, did a lot of running, and we're soaking up as much information as we could. I'm sure everyone here has gone through the police academy, or knows someone, obviously, that has gone through it, and how much work is required to get through this program. Just to put it in perspective, we have taken a couple tests. Specifically, we've taken 25 written exams, 8 firearms tests, 8 driving tests, many crime reports, 35 defensive tactics tests, and it was recently calculated that we shot approximately 2,500 rounds of ammo. Good thing we were all dry firing at home, right? We faced a variety of challenges well in these last 20 weeks. However slight the challenge might be, we as a class were able to overcome it. As I previously mentioned, we have been trained since day one to work as a team and carry our classmates. I would like to tell you a quick story about when one of my teammates carried me when I was down. A few weeks ago, we were doing our firearms testing and I failed one of my firearms tests. I was upset because I knew that if I failed the second try, I would be dropped from the academy. My classmates immediately recognized my change of character and were able to get me ready to take the next test. When remediation day came, my teammates were able to pick me up and help me get ready for my remediation and ultimately pass it. As the academy has given us a glimpse of what this career is going to be about, we need to always remember to take care of ourselves, our families, and one another. We have spent a lot of time doing physical training, which was a good time because we got to change at lunch and wear our PT shorts, and those are very nice. Coach House, one of our PT coaches, enjoys running and has always tried to pass along his running to our class. Well, I can tell you, it didn't work. Coach House, you here? All right. For some reason, Coach loved yelling my name and having me lead the pack when we were running the 4 columns. I think it was due to my peak physical performance. As you walked into graduation today, you probably saw the fence, the wall, the 99-yard obstacle course. And I would say the first time we as a class really came together was when we did our first testing that day. One component of the test is to drag a dummy 30 yards. And as we did the dummy drag, we could tell that people were getting tired. And people knew obviously that people were getting tired, but we did the unthinkable. We were better in the moment and pushed each other. There's something that is pretty exciting and motivating when someone is cheering you on. There are people in the class that weigh less than the dummy, but if you were there that day, you would have had no idea. PT was enjoyable, and on Fridays, one of our other coaches, Coach Nix, always told us some good advice. It wasn't to run 2 miles, it wasn't to eat healthy, it was a very simple message. The message was, don't do anything stupid. While in the academy, we have formed study groups to prepare for tests, practice defensive tactics, scenarios, firearms, and all the other tests that we have passed. While we have formed a family here at the academy, we wouldn't have been able to get through this academy without the support of our friends, families, spouses, kids, and significant others. Whether it was an open ear to listen, someone to take on extra chores around the house, or help us study our codes, you were there. As you can see to my right here, there are 41 recruits who prior to coming to the police academy all had previous jobs. Some of our previous jobs in this class include correctional deputies, paramedics, crime scene technicians, owners of landscape businesses, baseball players. Luckily no Dodger players, so we're okay. Wine industry workers, students, police explorers, and veterans of our armed services. All these different experiences have allowed us to gain different insight and become well-rounded police recruits. While at the police academy, we've been exposed to approximately 55 different instructors. All of our instructors have been doing this career for a long time. We have had such a variety of experiences which allowed us to see the career in different eyesights. I would also like to thank the academy staff who help run the day-to-day operations. Specifically Ms. Alexis Azules, who as Director Brown calls the real director, who was there to answer our questions when little things came up and had to avoid being trampled when she posted up the scenario scores to see if we passed. I would also like to thank Mr. Ryan McNeil, who was there to proctor many of our tests and was there to tell us if we passed our written test. He got to experience the many smiles and sighs of relief. Finally, I would like to thank Director Brown. Director Brown has guided us through all the tests, remediations, physical training. He can knock out a lot of pull-ups. And then finally guided us to graduation. From the start, he has always sprinkled a little bit of magic dust on us to get us here today and to get us through the field training program. While we did have some tough training days, workouts, and motivational talks, we never felt like our delicate flower-like feelings were hurt. Thank you, Director Brown. As Director Brown mentioned, this is my second time going through the police academy. I just enjoyed it so much I wanted to come back a second time. In all honesty, I'm a big believer of things happen for a reason, and I do feel that I do need to go through a second time. I would like to thank my classmates who helped me get to where I am today and graduate the academy. If it wasn't for everyone's support and Wax and Schneider's study guides, I wouldn't be able to make it today. I would like to thank the graduating members of BPA 192 for all the good times, the teamwork, and the overall dedication they put in the academy. I enjoyed going to the academy every day with you guys and spending all the time with you. Agency representatives, you have hired great individuals to be on your team. For agencies that are looking for people, we have many qualified and talented individuals who make a great asset to your organization. If you have time and are willing, please reach out to them. They are looking for careers and will make great law enforcement officers. For BPA 192, I would like to end my time here with a quote that one of our instructors, Sergeant Scanlon, told us every day as we started class. And I think it's a great one to live by for the next 30 years of our career. The quote is, "Be unafraid. Command presence and the knowledge of what you can and cannot do, and embracing your authority gives you the confidence to do this job and be successful." Again, I would like to thank everyone who was able to make it out today. Be happy, be safe, and good luck. Okay, you're probably wondering why I'm still standing here. So, one of the pleasures of being the class president, besides writing a speech and leading them in and hopefully not screwing up, is presenting our favorite instructor award. One of the, at the academy, we've been exposed to approximately 55 different instructors, and they've all been very good to us. We did have to make the tough decision to choose one instructor. The instructor we chose is one that we have spent a lot of time with. It is with great pleasure that I get to announce that I get to present BPA 192's favorite instructor award to retired Sergeant Kevin C. Scanlon, also known as Sam 25.
Oh, you do know. You were so nonchalant. Non-committal.
Yeah, I think Sergeant Scanlon has recently retired from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office in Fullerton Police Department. And for the record, he was almost on cops. Sergeant Scanlon spent a lot of time with our class. He taught us gang awareness, domestic violence, crimes against persons, crimes against children, helped us prepare us for our scenario tests, gave us motivational help with courtroom testimony, and even held a class at lunch on case law updates. He has been able to humor us to get us through some of the tougher learning domains and make the learning environment that much better. But I'd say the biggest thing about Sergeant Scanlon was the fact that he was always reaching out to our class. He always said if you guys needed help with interviews, anything outside of class, to just let him know. So Sergeant Scanlon, on behalf of BPA 192, thank you for all that you've done.
I do believe we're about ready to bestow some congratulatory certificates of completion. Okay. Let me tell you how this works. Is we slow it down a little bit, but we keep a good tempo. I call everybody up as they appear in the your program. Okay? We went agencies alphabetically, the people within agencies, and after that, the self-sponsored. So as we do that, the class has requested that their TO staff actually hand off certificates at this piece, and then when we're done, we hand them over to the agencies for an agency-specific pinning and swearing in and with the family and like that. So that'll be how we operate this. As family pictures, they're going to come front and center here. We'll slow it down. We'll keep them up there as long as you want to take pictures. It's their moment. It's your moment. And then we call it good. After that, I call it a little bit of bling at the end. As you might imagine, there's some pretty type A people sitting in this group, and they're always curious, and well, how do I do overall, that kind of stuff. So we have a few awards to issue, acknowledge, and I'll make that go pretty briskly, but I think they've earned a moment of acknowledgement. After that, you're enjoying the rest of your session here. So here we go.
Row 1, 10 hut. Left face.
Test. So, anybody who sees them stacked there, if you want closer for pictures, go ahead. If not, I'll keep the tempo going, and I'll key off of who's up here snapping pictures. From the Central Marin Police Authority, Officer Cunningham. Central Marin Police Authority, Officer Drunko. From the Fairfax Police Department, Officer Hussein. From the Marin County Sheriff, Deputy Campbell. Marin County Sheriff, Deputy Kalani. Novato Police Department, Officer Rodriguez. Novato Police, Officer Snyder. From the Rohnert Park Department of Public Safety, Officer Pachicalupe. Officer Hartlett. And Officer Keeper.
Right face. Take seats. Row 2, a 10 hut. Left face.
Continuing with the Rohnert Park Department of Public Safety, Officer Kopshever. Officer Lystra. Officer Selvitella. And Officer Wax. From the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Seha. Deputy Achano. Deputy Martinucci. From the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Crackiola. Deputy Manalia.
Right face. Take seats. Row 3, 10 hut. Left face.
Continuing with the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, Deputy O'Brien. Deputy Perez. Deputy Piper. Deputy Taylor. Deputy Bez. I don't know how many of you picked up on the program if you're following along. This next one isn't listed with Sonoma Sheriff. This is one of the recent hirees, so under the self-sponsor, I like pointing these out because it's fun to see the ones get a job done on the stretch. Newly hired and appointed Deputy Cornejo. Recruit Officer DeBolt. Class President, Recruit Officer Goodrich. Recruit Officer Higley. Recruit Officer Martin. Recruit Officer Martinez.
Right face. Take seats. Row 4, 10 hut. Left face.
Recruit Officer Minahan. Hiring process just completed yesterday and official, getting to wear the uniform proudly at the Sausalito Police Department. Officer Nail. Recruit Officer Neve. Recruit Officer Oliver. Just finished his hiring process on Monday, and also proudly wearing the uniform of Lake County Sheriff, Deputy Reynolds. Recruit Officer Toscano. Recruit Officer Walkner. Recruit Officer Weimer. And Recruit Officer Zell.
Right face. Take seats.
One more time, I present to you the graduating class of 193. With that, and down the home stretch is some acknowledgement of the super performers. I'll go through the category, make some comments, whoever it is, come up here, give you a certificate suitable for framing and a congratulatory handshake, sit down, and we'll keep moving from there. Academic, based on 25 post-learning domain tests. Officer Hussein, honorable mention, a mere 0.85 percentage points behind is Officer Kopshever, Roar Park. Firearms, our Top Gun, they put 364 projectiles, whether they're double-aught pellets, bullets, slugs, into a target zone. And out of 364, Recruit Officer Reynolds put all 364 into the honorable mention, Recruit Officer Oliver, who was 3 projectiles behind that, and Weimer, who was 2 behind that. So we had some really good. Physical training, based on the post work sample test battery. Post requires a minimum of 384. 705 is the supposed max. I've never seen anybody come close to that, so I don't know how they come up with it. Seriously, nobody I've ever talked to has anybody gotten the max. So our top physical performer is Deputy Piper, Sonoma Sheriff at 628. By 1 point, or probably a second or less, is Deputy Achano from San Mateo Sheriff with 627. So good job. This class was incredibly fit. We put high value on fitness in this industry. I think this is one of the highest I've ever seen. We had 9 students making the 600 club. Getting over 600 is a big deal, and just how it works with not very many people do it. We have 9. I'll just call out their names. You've already been given a piece of paper leading into this. Cornejo, Cracchiola, Chano, Felice, Hartley, Kopshever, Marnucci, Nene, and Piper are all 600 plus. Arrest control. Not just being fit, but can you properly do all the techniques in the proper way so you're not, using too much force, you're not using too little, you're safe to both officer and citizen. Well, that was a real tough one because I had 9 people who got 100% on midterm, sustained resistance / will to survive, final, and carotid is what they tested. So what I'll do is read off those names of the 100% club, which is Crackiola, Chano, Higley, Lystra, Managia, G, I know the G isn't there, Bebe, Piper, Rodriguez, and Wax. So good job. In the police academy, where the rubber meets the road, that's where we go down with the progression of, we fill your head with knowledge, you have to retain that knowledge, you have to integrate that knowledge, and you have to apply that knowledge. It comes with our scenario testing. We send you out the calls, you don't know what you're going to get, you have to adapt, you have to perform. Post requires 14, we do 17. It's a very rigorous process at the end of our academy. And our number 1 scenario performer is with a 99.94, which is pretty darn perfect. He probably got one of those that wasn't 100% by a couple of clicks. Is Officer Pacachalupe from breathing down his neck is Deputy Martinucci from San Mateo Sheriff, who is a mere 1.18% behind him. So now we take all those individuals, we get to overall. You should see the number and detail of spreadsheets of everything we do. Anything that we can attach a point or a percentage or some way of quantifying that, it all adds up. This one here takes everything that they did in the police academy that we gave a number to, we come up with overall. So it's not like just how smart a person is or how good they are with their hand shooting a gun. It's the package deal. So I'll read this one backwards. In second place, by a mere 0.22%, is Officer Kopshiver from Roanoke Harbor. Overall, and to me this is a big deal and a big congratulations, is Deputy Crackiola from Sonoma Sheriff. Besides getting great support from our agencies, and we get great support from our community, one of the premier community organizations out there, I say that because I truly believe they are, and I'm a member of this organization, which is the Rotary Club, likes to offer a special reward award that signifies the Rotary 4 test of key values. So I'd like to invite up Jim Wischendorf from the local Rotary Club to please bestow that honor on one of our graduates here. Thank you.
We're all here to honor you guys. That's perfect. On behalf of the Santa Rosa East Rotary Club, Rotary International, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the class 192. Each year we present an award that is called the 4-Way Test Award. The 4-Way Test is a test of how we expect Rotarians to live by, and we also encourage others in the business community, the chosen professions, to live by it as well. The 4-Way Test is, as we think or do things, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Each member of Rotary is committed to that four-way test and is expected to live by that. It's similar, very, very similar to your code of ethics, and I think you probably recognize that. You've had an opportunity to build some tremendous friendships with your peers. You've had successes, you've had some disappointments, but you've begun your careers in a very, very admirable way, and we salute you. In addition to recognizing your class, I want to recognize an individual. This award is particularly meaningful because it is not a representation of the instructors voting. It is not a representation of outside interests. The class members have selected the winner of the four-way test award, recognized for his demonstrated leadership, his support, his professionalism, and his high ethical standards. It's with pleasure that I present this award to Benjamin Kopschever.
Thank you, sir. I bet if you're looking down the script, you're saying we're almost there, aren't you? We are. Two scholarships. Again, this is the support of our community, people that are very, very passionate about supporting our industry and these students. We have, both of them are memorial scholarships. One of them left behind for to help these folks out. Leona and Reno Lizignoli have put on the table a $2,000 scholarship. And then recently, another one, I'd like to just read some pieces of this because it ties in with the Assistant Sheriff's speech about the incredible people in here. It's Lieutenant Richard Lee Matthews Memorial Law Enforcement Scholarship. And out of a lot of description here, some of the things that really strike with me that I and so many of us stand for is we get up and we go out every day to make a difference. It's not about us. It's about the deputies that the Assistant Sheriff was talking about. They go do it. It's like, it's what they do. I mean, they don't come back and say, hey, look at me, look at me. It just happens. So Lieutenant Matthews' life was about making a difference and out there. He put in 31 years with Tulare County Sheriff. He loved his job. He loved service to others. He was passionate about it. And then when he passed away, his wife, Marion Matthews, wanted to do something for us. And Miriam's here. Thank you, Miriam, for making this difference with a $1,000 scholarship. And this may seem a little unusual. It is, because one committee met on the one, picked someone, and then the other one came in and then picked someone, and that someone happened to be the same person. And so, yeah, it doesn't usually happen that way, but in this case it did. And and it has to do with the write-up need. I mean, there's criteria on both of them that why they get them. And I'd like to call up President Goodrich to be the recipient of both of these. So with that, we are at the get them on their feet, code of ethics, get them out the door. After that, when they go out the door, part of their closing this out for them is every training day started and ended the same way. formation, honoring the colors, they go up, and when they're done with their training day, they honor the colors coming down. So when they march out of here, they're going to go over to the flagpole, form up, and they're for one last time, and they're going to go through their last honoring the colors, retrieving them, and then after that they'll dismiss out from there to wherever you want to huddle them. That's up to you after that, because they're out of my jurisdiction after that. I mean, like, I don't say like they're out because I'd rather get rid of them. I'd like to keep every one of them, but there comes a point where, okay, I've trained you, I've done my part, now you need to go to the next phase of this, and somebody else can take it from here. So with that, I'd like to invite Sheriff Giordano up to lead the Code of Ethics, and then go from there.
Class, attention! Your right hand out. Your hand out for the Code of Ethics.
Yes,
All right, hands up. All right. As a law enforcement officer,
My fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature, or that is confided to me in my official capacity, will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duties. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime, and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law